Milk is not only the life force on which all mammals wean their young, but it's also really tasty. Yeah, tasty, huh? We're here in the Hudson Valley, where there's some spectacular milk being made. You could call it a local dairy revival. In the last 30 years, New York State has lost 75% of its dairy farms. With competition from industrialized farming, low milk prices, and high production costs, farm after farm has shuttered. But a handful of innovative small farmers think that they've found a way to stay in business.
It was very expensive to farm here, so we had to do something to be able to stay in the area. So we actually thought about doing something that we could take advantage of the market in the city. And in '91, we started at the Green Market in Manhattan at Union Square. At the same time, we started here delivering locally.
Ronnie's hunch that there was an unmet demand for locally produced premium dairy products paid off. Today, it's almost impossible to go to any specialty food store or farmer's market in New York City and not see Ronnie Brook milk, ice cream, and yogurt, which flies off the shelves. The farm was a local pioneer that paved the way for other premium dairies. Sam Simon here operates Plankenhorn Farms, which is a small family-owned farm, part of the Hudson Valley Fresh Cooperative.
The farmers that are in this area were receiving a non-sustainable wage, specifically 14 cents a pound for their milk when it cost them 18 cents to produce it. I also knew that several of us were receiving awards for quality, but receiving no money that was commensurate with the effort required to produce this quality milk. I said, let's segregate the milk that comes from these farms that produce a premium quality and bottle it under a Hudson Valley Fresh label, demanding a price that was commensurate with what it costs to produce the milk. That left us with a product that was priced somewhere between generic milk on the store shelf and organic.
Like Ronnie Brook Farm first did in the 90s, the 9 farms in the cooperative have cut out the middleman by processing, pricing, and distributing the milk themselves. This puts more money in the farmers' pockets and promises a more consistent, reliable, and higher quality product than conventional milk. Most conventional milk that's sold under a brand name is actually mixed together from hundreds of dairy farms. Milk from Hudson Valley Fresh or Ronnie Brook can be traced back to the specific farm from which it came. The farms are located less than 100 miles from the customer, traveling only short distances to get from farm to table.
One county in California called Tulare produces more milk than the entire Northeast. That includes Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania. They have farms with 50,000 cows.
Each of the Hudson Valley Fresh farms has between 45 and 300 milking cows.
It's a totally different environment. They can produce a volume of milk, but it's not the same quality, nor does it taste the same.
So, what's the difference between your milk and conventional organic milk?
Quality is a measurable entity. Quality is measured by bacteria count in the raw milk and the somatic cell count, which is a white cell count, just like in humans. The white cell count is a reflection of stress. What is the environment the cow lives in? What is her health status? Every cow on all these 7 farms is tested every month. Our somatic cell count averages at 84,000. Now you think of that number compared to 700,000, which is acceptable for organic as well as generic, and 84. That's tenfold difference.
According to these farmers, happy cows make healthy cows, which in the end makes better tasting milk.
The average lifespan of a cow in the country, whether it's organic or generic, is 3.5 years. The average lifespan on a cow on this farm is 8 years because they are managed well, they're cared for. Every day the cows here get brushed down and the tails washed. They get fed a lot of hay, which is their natural diet.
So all these girls over here, they're...
These are all 1-year-old girls.
Okay.
They all think I'm going to bring them some grain. Every morning we bring them a little grain, give them some hay.
So do they just roam freely?
Yes, they get a fresh ½ acre every night to pasture, so they have freedom of choice. Do they want the high protein clover or they want some drier hay? Cows here eat anywhere between 14 and 16 pounds of hay per day. On big commercial herds, they may get 1 pound of hay. You can feed, 400 or 500 cows in the same time that we feed 40 cows, and that affects the taste.
Both Ronnie Brook and Hudson Valley Fresh use innovative techniques to get the best flavor with the least amount of processing, while exceeding legal standards.
None of the farms use any hormone RBST stimulation for making more milk.
We separate it cold. It doesn't change the taste as much as it does when you separate it hot. Milk has to be pasteurized legally to be sold, but we do the minimum pasteurization. We do it what's called high temperature, short time, and that's so that it minimally affects the taste and kills only the bad bacteria.
Premium quality comes with a price. The cost to produce this kind of dairy is much higher and more labor intensive. And still, the model seems to be working. Demand for the product is high. Ronnybrook alone sells to over 300 stores and farmers markets in the greater New York area. Both operations are making modest profits, keeping local farms in business and delivering delicious, high-quality milk.
The public has to realize not all milk's created equal.